Stacey J.
And I'm Chuck Duran.
Here we go with part 2 with the fabulous voice actor, coach, and author, Bill DeWees. As a fellow content producers,
Yes.
your YouTube channel, as Chuck was saying, is really just so spot on. And what I think is resonating with people is that you are in, as we like to say on the show, in the trenches. You are walking the walk and you are putting it to use. What compelled you to want to do, I mean, because you're doing a lot of these, what was it? Why?
I ask myself the same question.
Because you like yourself on camera?
No, it's not because of that. Right? Yeah. What compelled me to do this? What was I thinking?
Were you that lonely?
Was I? Yeah.
He's like, I love my little webcam. What did you?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I never set out to do this. This was never my intent. It really wasn't. I was very happy living a very anonymous life and I had a nice voiceover career, you know, just doing my thing. And I loved it. It was very peaceful and very, you know, in my little 3.5 by 5 foot whisper room. It was a beautiful thing. Well, I had the local newspaper did a story, and came in and did a little story on me, what I do, and they put like a feature story in the Sunday paper. I mean, just a little local paper, not like the Chicago Trib or Sun-Times or something like that. Yeah. And I started getting phone calls and emails from people, and there was this one guy in particular that just wouldn't let up. He just constantly went, I need you to coach me. I need you to coach me. When are you going to put a class together?
Was that Bo Stevenson?
No.
He was the second phone call.
He was the second phone call. And so finally I thought, okay, enough already. And so I looked for somebody to help me out with that, creating the platform for it. And actually, I met a guy by the name of Fred Gleek, who his expertise is creating platforms for people with specialization in an area to get it out to more people. Yeah. So anyhow, I went out to, he's in Las Vegas, went out there, and it's whose car I'm using tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
Fred's
nice.
car.
Oh, cool.
Hi, Fred.
Hi, Fred.
And so he said, you should do some YouTube videos. I'm like, I don't know. I've never, you know, my kids, I've seen their YouTube videos. I'm not sure I want any part of that.
Yeah, right?
You don't have to fart, Bill. It's
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Well, once I found that out,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I did a couple of videos, and I just got a really nice response to it. And before I knew it, I had a channel. It was, I don't even know. I mean, honestly, as I think back, I'm not even sure how that happened. Yeah. I just started, you know, questions people would have or things that I thought might be helpful. Yeah. And so I would just put out these little 5-10 minute videos. Yeah. And before I knew it, it's like, you know, became something.
How many videos you have up there now, do you know?
250 or 60, something like that. I've maybe 10, 12 hours of content.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And almost 8,000 subscribers
Well,
now.
but I mean,
so
what a wonderful
fantastic.
gift to give people, you know, which is why we do this show, is, I mean, think about, you know, when you were starting out and, you know, and that great information. Now, having said that, there is great information out there, present company included, but there also isn't good information out there. Yeah. What are some things that you could say, especially those people that are really looking to get into the business, what are some things that they should really watch out for and be aware of?
Well, that's a good question. I'm going to be very careful here.
Okay.
That was one of the things that compelled me, also motivated me to do this. I thought, I want to offer, at least from my perspective, and I know it's worked for me, and maybe I can help some people with that. If it sounds too good to be true, if somebody's promising you the moon, you've got to be really careful of that. Yeah. It's not a simple 1, 2, 3 formula, and in 3 weeks, you too, you know. And the truth is this, and you guys know this, it's a business, and you have to expect there's going to be some money involved.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, demos aren't free, nor should they be, or websites,
you got to
or
spend
coaching.
some money before you see it.
You do. So you need to be very careful, judicious in those decisions that you make, that you're working with the right people who can put you on the right path, and so that you can present yourself in the right way. So, you know, do a lot of research, you know, kind of vet everybody, ask people that they've worked with. I mean, that's the best advice I can give. Yeah. Because they're, you know, and here's a big thing. What has that person done? That's another question. You know, what kind of experience do they have? Yeah. You know, have they really accomplished any, you know how I mean that. I mean, and not that a coach, you can coach and not be, like you can be a great basketball coach and not be a great basketball player, but to be a great coach takes a track record. You have to have done it for a while.
Yeah. Have you coached other teams?
That's right. And who have you coached?
Have any of them won?
And do you know what's going on in the current?
I don't want you to coach me.
Absolutely. No, but that's true. That's
you're
that's
right.
a good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
Well, I feel like I'm hogging Bill.
No, not at all.
So
I'm resting my vocal cords right
He's delicate. It's his birthday.
I'm going to gargle. Air.
So you're the voice of the Chevy New Roads campaign. Yes.
Yes. Can I qualify that? I have to be full disclosure here.
Why does he have to qualify everything?
Well, no,
Well, it's the global.
Yeah, I'm the global signature voice. John Cusack is the U.S. voice.
Right.
So, in full disclosure, I am not the U.S. voice.
Right.
I'm the outside the U.S. guy.
Hey, but guess what? To all those people that live outside the U.S., they're like, yeah, we're here, yeah.
I'm like the John Cusack of Canada and Mexico and Africa and Germany. Yeah.
That's what I'm
You can look at it that
about.
way, I guess.
And he's just for here. Yeah.
The
You
world
got
is
'em
a
beat,
big
man.
place. Okay. Anyway, the point is that you do a couple spots for Chevy. Let's just
Yeah,
say that.
yeah.
So you're also like one of your things is you're really known for that real guy next door delivery. Okay, and there's that 4-letter word that you got to be real. And what is it? Do you think that? Do you have any suggestions for?
I do.
Getting people to that real place.
I do.
Oh,
I talked about this for hours
it.
this morning. That was like the first thing we talked about. Real is almost like it's almost cliche now. You hear everybody says, "Well, I want real. I want authentic." What does that mean? It means at the end of the day, it means you're believable. Right. Somebody is compelled to listen because they connect. And you get 10 different casting directors or producers that say real. It might mean 10 different things to them.
Right.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's do they believe you? Like if I'm reading a script, do you feel compelled again to stop and who is this? Who is this guy? What's he has? What he's saying, I can tell is genuine, and I need to listen to what he has to say. And so I use the I love acronyms. ACE, ACE, authenticity, conviction, and emotion. And those are the 3 things that I always keep at the forefront of my mind when I'm doing a read. Is it authentically me? Because I used to make the mistake of, you get direction from an agency. Okay, we're looking for a Kevin Bacon Hillshire Farm sausage kind of, whatever the case is. They always throw a celebrity in a YouTube video.
Of course.
Right,
Yeah.
and then you're trying to do a sound alike.
Yeah, exactly. And so for several years that was me. Okay, now how can I be Morgan Freeman or Sam Elliott, the Dodge Ram truck guy, or whoever, fill in the celebrity. And I finally realized I'm none of those people. Yeah. They exist, and anything that I do to sound like them will be a cheap imitation.
Right.
And not that I don't pay attention to the direction, and not that I don't go to the YouTube reference, because I do, but it has to be me coming from how would I react? How would I respond in the context of that script? Yeah. And so it's got to be genuinely me. And I'm okay with that now. I understand that.
So authenticity.
Authenticity. It's got to be with conviction. People have to believe that I believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
This is important.
People follow people of conviction, even if you're a complete lunatic. It doesn't matter. If you believe it, there are people who will follow. They will listen.
Yep.
And if you're not connected in that way, and there are strategies that you can use. If maybe I don't like Chevrolet. Maybe I drive a Ford Mustang GT.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Which I do. But I'm just saying.
Which I do.
Which I do.
Do you have the paperwork for this car?
Or is this a borrowed car from a friend?
But you can
seriously,
substitute it.
But there are strategies that I don't use Pampers diapers anymore. My kid's a little too old for that.
Yeah.
But there are strategies I can find where I feel and can communicate conviction. Yeah. So, and then emotion. We respond on an emotional level. Most people who you ask them the last puppy they got. Was that a good decision? Well, at the time, they probably asked themselves later, why did I do that? Well, it's because that puppy licked you in the face and you couldn't help but take him home. Yeah. We respond on that level.
Oh, all the time.
And so if you can get people to feel, and you're a guitar player, right?
Yeah.
Steve Vai. Yeah. He said it was a great quote. If you play with emotion, people will feel the emotion.
Absolutely.
And if you can read with the emotion of the script, people will feel it and they'll be compelled to listen. Wow, and that's how you win work.
I've never heard that put like that before, and that's brilliant. I love that.
Well, that's what guides me, and that's what I try to help people to do.
Very cool. So, Billy.
Which my mom likes to call me. Yeah. Billy D.
Billy D. Do you have a formula or some tips for some of the guys or girls out there that might have more of an announcer voice to get rid of it?
Yeah, a couple things. Okay. I have a process that I use that helps me, and maybe it will help you as well.
I'm sure it will.
And first of all, and maybe you've heard this, first of all, you got to know who you're talking to, who's my audience. And I try to put a face on it. Somebody, who do I know that fits this basic description of whoever the audience is, so I can have a conversation with that person. Otherwise, we're broadcasting.
Yeah, so requirements, you need to have at least one friend that you can picture, right?
At least an imaginary
or a
friend.
wife or
a magazine.
Somebody that you like.
Talk to the magazine or your
Somebody that you like, preferably. Okay.
So that's a start. And the second thing is, who am I within the context? Who am I within the script? What's my role?
Yeah.
You know, am I playing the part of the coach? Am I playing the part of the cheerleader for this company? Am I playing the part of your friend, an authority figure? You've got to kind of figure that out too.
Yeah. Or am I just an end user? Right?
Yeah, or it could be, yeah. It's got to be something though. In your mind, you have to imagine that you're somebody.
You have a purpose.
Yes,
Sort of
you're not just a voice, you serve a purpose. And then where am I? Where's this conversation taking place? What does that look like? You have to kind of visualize what this commercial or what the script is going to look like.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have to place it, because if we're in a very, like in this kind of a setting, you know, we're just having kind of a close, intimate conversation.
Yeah.
But if we're on the soccer field, well, all of a sudden now we're having this conversation because I'm talking over the crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
So that's a big part of that.
Yeah.
But I have a little technique that I use, and I didn't invent this. I know actors use it. When I worked in corporate training, we use this. I always refer to it as overtraining.
Yeah.
But the idea is that whatever you're about to do, you do an exaggerated version of it, so you can get out of your head, because we're all in our own head.
Yeah,
you know where I'm going with
absolutely.
this.
Yeah.
So I'm reading a script and I'm directing myself the whole time. Bill, slow down. Go. Oh, wait a minute. Give emphasis here. Wait a second. You're not articulating. You know. So we have these conversations in our head. So I'll have somebody. I'll just say, just scream the script, speed read the script, do a crazy voice with the script. Just do something totally. The more embarrassing and out of your comfort zone, the better. And then immediately go back and read it again. And it just clears those mental cobwebs.
That's cool.
So they can just read it.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
I didn't, actually the person who really brought that to my attention was Marice Tobias, who I have great admiration for.
Have you studied with her?
Oh,
or
yes.
You have? Okay.
Yes, and I continue to.
Does she voice whisper you?
She does.
She voice whispered you?
She will get into your head.
She will
Really.
get into your head, right?
Yeah. She's like, what's bothering you?
Yeah, you're
what
like,
do you mean?
how do you know something's bothering me?
Do you have
Well, look at your
cameras in there?
face. I can see it in your eyes.
The microphone picks up everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's really cool.
That's really good.
You guys should try that at home and let us know if it works for you. Okay, because then we'll get back to this guy and let him know if he's on track or not. No, that's really cool, man.
It
Thanks
works for me. I know that.
Yeah. That's really cool. What about I saw one of your videos where you talked about don't be so professional or something like that.
Right.
That was cool, man, because it was different than the announcer guy, but it's also a little tweak that people don't even think about.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little
yeah,
bit?
I think I remember what I was talking about. And if I'm not, stop me and redirect me.
Well, I don't know, so you're going to make it up
Okay.
as
Here we go. I was in a recording session
Yeah.
once. It was an ISDN session with another studio. It was in Michigan. I was doing a commercial for some hospital. And I did the read, and he said, do you do a lot of narration? I said, yes. And he said, well, I can tell. He said, you're being just too professional, everything's being too perfect. And he said, I just need you to relax a little bit and just talk to me. I mean, it was really as simple as that. But I never forgot that. That stuck with me.
Yeah.
That my being so articulate, not that I'm that articulate, but within that commercial, actually drew attention away to the message. And it's all about the story.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And if you're too perfect and you're hitting every T and you're dotting every I and everything's all of a sudden now it's about how good you are. It's not about the story anymore.
Right.
And
you've lost that accessibility to your audience.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because we're
Absolutely.
not, and this is hard for us. I mean, we're performers, right? We like to be the show, but in voiceover, we're not the show.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not. And and you're a musician, so you can appreciate, I'm sure you've been in bands, and I remember, and I used to play a lot, and I remember I'd be in bands where like you get a new keyboard player in, and like the guy's like going nuts, and like, wait a second, this is a band. There's like 5 of us here. So you just do the keyboard stuff, pad or whatever.
Yeah.
We've got a bass player, he can cover that.
Yeah.
We've got a guitar player, he can do that part.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so instead of
absolutely.
doing this thing, just do your thing.
Yeah.
And you're a role player. There's other things going on. There's a visual going on. There might be some music and some sound effects. So you're just a role player. You're off to the side telling the story. And I don't know if that visual helps or not, but it helps me a lot.
Absolutely important.
Yeah.
No, because and Jennifer Hale, we've had guests that have said on the show, I mean, that you are one component, and then if we make it about ourselves, that we're the only one, it kind of diminishes the whole process. There's so much that went on before, and it's going to go on after.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you are a part of a community. It's like it's a play. It's a
Yeah.
play.
And coming from radio, and I used to do morning radio, and so when you're a radio personality, you are the show.
Yeah.
I mean, and so it's hard for broadcasters to move from that role.
Because it's all about them.
Yeah, because so we're projecting.
Yeah,
and
because if you're not talking, nothing's happening.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to realize, no, that's not my job. I don't, I'm off to the side of the stage. There's another thing going on here. My job's just to narrate the story.
Did you have an awkward transition from radio to voice? Or?
I don't know if it was awkward, but it was hard.
Yeah.
It was a real revelation to me that not everybody wanted local car dealership screaming ads, which I was really good at, by the way. When you work in radio, you get really good at squeezing 40 seconds into 30 seconds of, of time. And so I was a real good promo kind of guy. Everything was real. I can be, really fast and hyped, and I still do a lot of that kind of stuff, which is fine. But to, the higher up the food chain you go, the less demand for those kind of reads on commercials.
Yeah, sure.
Of
course. Yeah, nobody wants a super hard sell unless it's like some local regional thing or something like that.
Chevrolet find new roads. Chevrolet find new roads, or this weekend only for 0.5%.
Yeah.
It's a
the
completely
Big Tent sale.
Chevy.
It's a completely different.
Chevy.
Yeah. But that local car dealership ad may have paid $200.
Exactly.
And the national
is going to pay you.
There's a lot more zeros on the ends of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of money, how long did it take?
How much do I owe you for
your
being here? I forgot.
But how long did it take you? Okay, when you started doing your voiceover thing, how long did it take you before you were actually making a nice income in voiceover, where that's all you had to do?
Yeah, I always hate to throw. Although the title of my book is like how to start and build a six-figure voiceover.
Business. Available on Amazon.
We're going to talk about the book in a second.
It may sound like I'm not, but the truth is, within 12 months of starting, I was consistently making $2,000 a week, which
that's fantastic.
Annualizes out to $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
So it didn't take me long to ramp up.
Yeah.
But then,
within a year.
Within a year. Yeah.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah. He's good on the phone.
But then,
and how long?
I tell you, I overcame by brute force.
And how long ago was that?
How many restraining orders
did
you have?
9 years ago.
Yeah, that was 9 years ago. Yeah, and so I've been growing it ever since, and it's just a constant. I just keep, wash, rinse, repeat. I just keep.
But you had those high stakes.
Love that. Wash, rinse, repeat.
Your stakes were high. You had a family, and you lost your job. I mean, there wasn't the I'm gonna find myself for a few months. I mean, you had.
Right.
You had. There was.
No, that's right. And sometimes you do the best stuff when you have no alternative.
Yeah.
And so even though it was one of the worst things in my life, it was, in retrospect, it was the best thing in my life.
Yeah.
Was there something else that you said, I should go and do this, or was there just no question?
I thought about it. I was, I went back to school. I was working on a PhD, thinking I might teach. To continue with the college.
And now you're teaching without the PhD.
That's right. Yeah, I never did finish that. Oh my gosh, that was awful.
Do you want us to call you Dr. DeWees?
Oh my goodness, no. Number one, didn't finish it.
Dr.
Number
Bill.
two, that's just not. Yeah, I'm not an academic. I mean, even though I operated in that environment, that is just not my personality.
Tonight on Dr. Bill.
Yeah.
The doctor is in. Dr. Voiceover.
Okay. Let's talk about Bill's book here. Don't start. No, I'm sorry. Don't start. Don't start. Stop it right now. How to start and build a six-figure voiceover business.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the title because he forgot it earlier.
Yes.
So I'm just making you aware.
I'm a terrible pitch man.
Your book is called. This book is insanely cool.
Yeah.
Where can people get it?
Amazon.
So just go to Amazon.
I've got a few copies on me, but you don't have to come down here to get it.
No.
Yeah,
Bill will just stand here and wait till you get here. So what made you want to write it?
Yeah.
Well, again, Fred that I talked to earlier,
Fred with the car.
who has Fred with the car, who's kind of
Fred's
mentored me in this
instigator.
area. He really is. And he said,
Fred's a
Bill, you
good
got to write a
friend.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I've never written a book before.
Yeah.
And he said, no, really, you just need to get these things out on paper, And so I did. We sat down. I went to Las Vegas, and we sat down for a weekend, and we just talked through a bunch of stuff. And then I took that information, and then we turned it into a book. So it's really almost like a personal conversation where I'm walking you through just step by step all the stuff that I did.
Wow.
So it's meant to be more of a practical how-to guide,
Yeah.
really
That's
than anything
fantastic.
else.
Well, the great thing is that some information is timeless.
Yeah.
And so that's what's great about those kinds of books.
Well, business principles
yeah.
are timeless.
Yes, they are.
And that's
This
is a business, ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen. Yeah.
Yes.
So whether you're
So,
selling widgets or your
it
voice
doesn't
actor,
matter, man.
it really
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Why do you think where you're sitting right now, you're 9 years in, got a long, wonderful career ahead of you, I can feel it.
From your lips to God's ears.
I have very good intuition. Why do you think that you've had success?
I think because I'm a constant learner. I really see myself as that's part of who I am. I want to learn and get better.
Yeah.
I'm driven to be better and to learn more. And I hope I always do. I hope till the day I die that I'm always trying to figure things out and get a little better. So I think, I've committed myself to developing the product so it'd be better. But also, I just don't give up. I'm a pretty mild-mannered guy. I mean, I'm not a type A guy. I'm not like, I'm a pretty casual, laid-back guy, and I like to live my life that way. But I'm also a pit bull. I mean, if I know this is what I need to do, I'll just keep doing it. Every day, I'll just keep doing it. I mean, you know what I mean? I won't make a big deal about it, but I'll just keep doing it.
There's nothing passive about being passionate.
Yeah, and I think, I am passionate about what I do and about helping other people. But, I was telling the folks at the thing I'm teaching this weekend, though, that if I do love voiceover, I really do. Yeah. But, if I lost it tomorrow and I could do something else, and I'd be okay with that, too. I prefer to keep voicing for the rest of my life. I think that would be awesome. But I like to learn new things. I get bored with my career. My history has been about every 5 to 7 years. It's like, what else can I do now? I'm kind of bored. I need new challenges.
Yeah. Well, you certainly get new challenges every day as a voice actor.
Yes, I do, and I like that.
But I think that speaks to when you're not in that place of desperation, this has to work, I have to do this, this is the only thing I have, that I think it puts you in a different headspace and it doesn't quite keep the balance. Yeah, no, you're right. And I sometimes feel bad for people that I know become so fixated on, and I understand, but sometimes it can work against you. You become so, I have to do this. If you hold it, it's just like holding the little hamster that you had as a child. I love it. And before you know, you killed it. And you can do that.
That's never happened to me. I just want to put that out
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be a downer, but you know what I mean?
Said the apple,
okay, we'll be back next week with
I'm traumatized. I cannot speak anymore. No.
You can squeeze the dream too tightly sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you know what I love about a lot of the things that you've said is that you really, really understand the cause and effect. It's like if you do nothing, you get nothing.
Yeah, that's the truth.
If you do a little bit, you get a little bit. If you do a lot, you get a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of the right things.
Of the right things.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So you have to know that and need to figure that out, that you can't just the build it and they will come is good, for some things, and it could work, but for voiceover you really need to be very proactive, right?
You really do.
And what is king? Skill, right?
Yes.
So without the skill, you're nowhere.
Okay, that's right. Without a product, you have nothing to market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't even think about making a demo until you know, or somebody like Bill tells you, you know what, you're ready for a demo. Okay. I think that's really, really super important. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else can you tell us about yourself?
Let me throw. This is not about me.
Your hair. Let's talk about your hair. You got very
good hair.
very nice hair.
You know what? When I was in college, many years ago, I did.
I thought he was going to say it's not mine. No.
Somebody was telling me what I looked like the other day. What was it? But I was a 70s,
you
80s kind of guy.
Man.
I was.
He was.
A casual wild man. But I was voted best hair in college my senior year.
Okay, I can see it, dude, because it still looks cool.
Yeah, it was pretty long.
Yeah.
It wasn't as long as yours, but it was, I think I had the longest hair in school. I went to a pretty conservative school, but
that's pretty long. So it's probably right up to the collar or something?
No, I mean, it was, it was down there. If you play guitar, you gotta do the,
exactly.
you gotta do the part,
Absolutely.
So do you still play guitar?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah? What's your musical inspiration? What are your go-tos?
I'm a child. I've been, like I said, I've been around a while, and I'm very much a classic rock kind of guy. I grew up, I was in high school in the 70s, with bands like Boston's my all-time favorite band.
Oh, God, that singer, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and that first album, my favorite album of all time.
Oh, the best album ever.
Yeah.
So good.
My wife took me to see Foreigner this past
Nice.
she's like the best. Yes. Vicky, love you.
Cool.
You are the best.
Vicky, good taste in music.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We celebrate our 35th wedding anniversary this next month.
That.
Right on.
Okay,
yes.
seriously, that is, for me, that's just huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
I mean, we loved you before, but that's huge. That's huge.
Well, it's huge for her to put up with me for that long. It's like,
I thought you were
really?
going to say, that's huge for her to be with me.
You seem like a pretty easy person to get along with.
That's a beautiful thing.
You're always
That's
easier to everybody else than your own spouse. You know how that goes.
That's
but,
fantastic. What do you think is the key to a good relationship?
Oh my goodness. You know, the older I get, the more I realize, I think I used to in my younger days, it was harder for me to accept people as they were. I didn't understand that everybody wasn't supposed to be like me, including my wife.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand, as we got married and we really lived, we were together, it's like, why are you so different from me? I don't understand, and it would frustrate me. And I think vice versa to a large extent. So getting to a place where you can just say, you know what? No judgment. I just love you the way you are. And those things that are different are really awesome, and they are. Yeah. Once you can just let go. And you don't even realize you're doing it when you do it. And when I look back, I think, I was a real jerk sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think we really enjoy each other's company now.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's key right there.
Love it.
Friendship.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, we wish you 350 years more. That's
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Life is good.
Yeah.
My daughter works for me full time. I don't know if I told you guys, she is my assistant.
What does she do for you?
Your
She
assistant.
runs my office.
Really?
And she's actually a pretty accomplished voice talent on her own. She does a lot of work.
Right on.
Has she read your book? You're going to teach her your tricks? Going to have a little competition there, buddy.
Well, we'll see what. Well, I tell you, she keeps booking
She's
more
going
work.
for 7 figures.
Yeah, and I hope she gets it because I'm going to need somebody to support me in my old age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, and then after my cut, the dad cut is more than 10%.
The dad cut.
It should be more than 10%. What do you still want to accomplish? Where is Bill DeWees in 10 years?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I struggle with that. But lately I've kind of got a vision a little bit. I'm starting to. I just signed with ACM Talent this year, which has taken me. There's some new things going on there that I haven't been exposed to before, in the area of like network promo work, a lot of reality TV, and I'm starting to get some. I haven't booked anything yet, but I'm starting to get some real good feedback in some areas. And so I would love to do. Here's my ultimate goal.
Okay, ready?
I want to be the narrator of Naked and Afraid on Discovery.
Get down, baby.
That's my goal. That's my favorite show. I don't know if you guys haven't seen it.
It's a good show.
It's not because of the
I haven't
nudity.
seen
It's
many-
because it's just an awesome show.
Yeah.
An awesome survival show. I love those kind of shows. That I could die and be happy at that point.
You don't
if
just
I
watch
could.
it because people walk around naked?
No. They blur out all the good stuff anyhow. Or did I just say that on TV or on YouTube?
You did.
This is YouTube, baby. Anything goes.
No, this will be Bill narrating. I'm sorry, you need to cover the SOTs. I can't.
Yeah, exactly. Can you
I'll
cover
just
the
read,
SOTs?
I can't read the picture because
So I'd like to do more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love to do promo, more promo work.
Yeah.
I'd love to do some reality TV narration. And just
Well, that's an area of the business that's growing.
yeah,
and
reality
growing
stuff
and
is not
growing.
going anywhere.
No, there's a
Yeah.
big conference I think going on this week in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Love
man.
it. Okay, so Bill, pick a number between 5 and 129.
Just go with it.
Between 5 and what?
139.
29.
29.
128.
Oh, look at him. Okay.
Second to the last.
Okay. If you could have any job in history, what would it have been?
Any job in history.
History.
Oh, I'll tell you what it would
God,
be.
he's got it.
It would have been to have Casey Kasem's job and do American Top 40.
Oh.
That's high profile.
I
Did I say that right? Profile.
I grew up listening to Casey Kasem,
Yeah.
and I
Oh my
just
gosh, gone too soon.
had such
What
an
a
impact.
great-
Yeah.
What an awesome era, too, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's back.
Oh, the
that's
long
back when
distance-
music was music and
Absolutely,
radio. And now,
man.
but radio
The
was.
long distance dedication.
Oh.
my gosh, how many times did you cry at those? I
And he
did.
was just the best. But
So
radio was such the center, at least of my generation at that time. That was the center of our culture. We all rallied around those top 40 songs. I mean, we did. It wasn't so diverse.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that was better. I'm just saying it was different.
It was different.
And the radio stations, we all shared the same experience together,
Yeah.
the same stations, the same
Yeah.
disc jockeys.
Yeah,
And Casey
exactly.
Kasem was a big part of that.
So
To
great.
have done that would have been.
It's so great,
huge.
he did Scooby Doo. Like how cool that he went on.
Oh.
Yeah.
So talented, but God, what
Can
you,
an icon!
yeah.
What an icon!
Can you imitate him?
A Scooby Doo?
No.
Can I share a quick story?
Yeah, of course you
I
can.
like how we ask.
This is your show.
Like,
it's
do
about
you see?
you.
It's like there's guests lined up. Oh, we need to move it along. Do we?
Can I say
Who's next?
Go ahead.
I once narrated 41 audiobooks. I mean, way more than I probably ever should have.
41 audiobooks?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a whole other. That's a
We're
whole.
not going to
That's
talk.
another
Okay,
show.
not that story.
That's another
Too
show.
long.
Okay.
But I did this book. It was like a religious devotional type of book, and it was like like devotionals from some of the greatest religious leaders in history over the past 2,000 years, something like that. And so I read the book, and it was published, and I made the mistake of going back and looking at reviews, which I rarely ever do, because I just don't. Why?
Exactly.
It is what it is. Either they like it or they don't. I mean,
They can't change
I got
it.
paid for it, so what do I care?
Right.
No, but
Yeah.
So I go back, and some guy says something to the effect of, "I don't want to hear the Bible read by Kasem."
Oh my God! Are you serious?
You're like, I'm a hit.
You're not. But he thought I sounded like Kasem.
That's so
That's
cool.
what I took away from that.
So then you can imitate
guess.
Kasem, apparently.
In audiobook settings.
In audiobook
audiobook.
settings. In
Oh
that
my
one
God,
audiobook.
that's awesome.
That is so
Isn't
cool.
that funny?
See,
Dude,
you've arrived,
hysterical.
man. You have arrived.
All my dreams have come true.
I got to tell you, man, this is the first time that we've had the pleasure of sitting
Yeah,
down with you
meeting
in
you
person
face to face, yeah.
and meeting you. And you are a cool dude, man.
Oh, coming from you guys, that's high praise, because you're about as cool as it gets.
Oh my!
And so,
Well, that's very
hanging out
lovely. No,
with you
but we
guys is
really.
great.
Stacey's the cool one. I'm a little.
I'm the short
cuckoo.
one. I'm the short
She's
one.
a short and cool one. Dude, what a
Thanks,
freaking
Chuck.
pleasure to have you on the
Wow.
show.
Thank you
Pleasure's
so much.
all mine,
We wish you
Stacey.
so much
Thank you
continued
very
abundance,
much.
and you're always welcome here.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Absolutely.
And,
And you guys, okay? There's a lot of you out there all over if you don't pick up your internet mouse thing and your little pad and get your fingers all warmed up and dial him up to talk to him and find out what he's doing to create these crazy, crazy incomes and voiceover, you're nuts.
Yeah.
All right? We'll see you next time.
I'm Bill DeWees, and I just got buzzed with Chuck and Stacey, and I never thought I'd actually be the guest on YouTube's coolest channel. But now I have been. I feel pretty cool. These guys are pretty awesome.
Well, that's all we have with Bill DeWees. Totally cool dude, right?
Oh my gosh, so great. Like the fountain of knowledge.
Unbelievable. And just to
Incredible.
think that he flew all the way out here to see us. Well, maybe he
and to
didn't
do
do
his
that.
2-day event, but
But he
yeah.
kind of did.
Yeah.
And we love him for that.
Yes.
So we hope you guys got a bunch of stuff out of the show. We know you did, in fact. And we're going to see you next week with another cool episode of VO Buzz Weekly.
Keep up with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, you guys, and follow us on YouTube as well. We love you. Thank you so much for watching. And just remember, you always have time for a little buzz.